Hi, we have a midweek game which is going to be a First World War encounter battle between the French and Germans from approximately 1914. We're going to be using the square bashing rules by Peter Pigg, which have been updated. So let's have a look. We've just got a couple of pictures initially of some initial deployment of the German forces that are going to be attacking in this game. They're going to be up against the French, who've got themselves deployed in several victory objective squares on the map, which the Germans have either got to take or achieve breakthroughs to the French side of the table to win. With these rules, the movement and distances are determined by a square grid that's effectively placed over the entire battlefield, so there's no measurement of distances or anything like that. Troops can move a certain number of squares and they just move to adjacent squares, but they can't move diagonally. And here we see the Germans getting into the attack pretty much straight away. They want to try and get hold of a couple of the forward objective squares as quickly as possible. Once they've done this, it will be very difficult for the French to actually counter-attack and take them back. The French have got themselves positioned in quite strong defensive positions here, and it's actually very tough for the Germans to break in. The most effective way of achieving this is to really accumulate as much firepower as you can and attack into one hex. You do need a reasonably good advantage in numbers to get a successful attack and force the defenders out. Here you can see the Germans attacking on three sides of the French position, but because the position is so good, even with overwhelming numbers, the Germans still can't break in. With these rules, you also have a certain number of assets that you can use throughout the course of the game. These are like random events that you can play at the beginning of each turn, and you have to pass a command roll to be able to use them. You have interesting things like suppression barrages, air power to stop the enemy from moving, so you can use them in whichever order that you like, but you do have to assign command points to use them, and they don't always work exactly how you'd like them to, which we'll have a little look at later on. The Germans, being the ones they have to attack, they've got themselves a little bit bogged down in the centre and on the left side of the table, as the French have got themselves dug into fairly good positions. So the German player has decided he's going to mainly attack around the right hand end of the table and force his way through and achieve breakthroughs by getting into the French position. Unfortunately, on the left flank, where he was trying to attack the French position, he neatly suppressed himself with a bombardment, which meant he couldn't actually do any advancing. The French, having to bring on reinforcements on the left flank to stop the Germans from achieving any breakthroughs, are successful in holding them up, and the Germans really just run out of firepower and time, and what should have been reasonably confident German commander in attaining a victory, in fact turns into a French victory at the end of the day. And here's just a quick picture on the final endgame.